Hello, everybody. Welcome
everyone.
to Love and Money Live. Whoop, 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 whoop. We're super glad that you're here joining us today. We love hearts. We love thumbs up. So if you agree or you've had an experience with what we're about to talk about, please let us know. There is going to be a national, what do they call it, emergency broadcast thing over the waves. So we might be interrupted, but who knows? We'll see. Honey, I don't know about you, but I'm just wiped.
Oof. So we've been taping all morning. But we wanted to just...
Actually, over in our little
studio
here.
Actually, it's not little.
It's not little, but we're really excited because we're going to be introducing something called the Profitable Budget. Very cool. It's going to be available for you. But man, we have been taping. So you'll see this outfit on there. But we're excited today to talk about something that's so important, and that is how to communicate regularly about money so it doesn't overwhelm your relationship.
You know, a lot of times what happens is the person that's worried about the money, that would be me in the relationship most of the time. We talk about it. I know. We talk about it all the time, or I find myself talking about it. And it was really bad before we came up with what we're going to be talking today, which is called the Money Huddle, because it was always on my mind and I didn't feel like we ever had a system to make sure that we were talking about our money. So as part of the reason that we created the Money Huddle was because we wanted to give people like me, kind of the money person in the relationship, a time to share, a time to reflect, a time to make sure that I'm hearing about all the family's needs and do it on a regular basis. And what we have found since we have done our Money Huddle is that we actually talk about money less. And
Isn't that wild?
It's so cool. And that was really our goal with the Money Huddle, was to give you an opportunity for the money person. Maybe you're both money people. Maybe neither of you are money people. That's really scary. But a chance to really sit down and have a conversation and get your mind and your arms wrapped around with what you need to do, which is just talk about money.
You know, in football, we've been watching so much football. Our boys are in football. We have Ohio State. We love Ohio State. If you're an Ohio State fan, thumbs up.
Sorry, Penn State.
No thumbs down.
You got whooped.
That's right.
Actually, you didn't get whooped.
No, you didn't.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That game was way too close for comfort.
And then we had the Broncos. So we're all into football. But, in football, you have to have a system. You have to have an approach, a way to play the game. If you don't have a way to play the game, everyone's just going to be running around not knowing what they're doing. That's why a system is so helpful when you talk about money. And we have a full-blown system for you inside of our kit, which we're really excited about. Make sure you pick one of those up. They're in our store, the Love and Money Lifestyle Series kit. But this is just a little piece of the whole puzzle, and that is how to talk about money in a systematized way so you don't talk about it all the time.
Yep.
You know, when you argue about money and little teeny things, it's oftentimes because you don't feel heard. Mm-hmm. And so we want to make sure that both of you in the relationship are heard, and we want to do it in a systematized way and not long. The neat thing about the Money Huddle is that it's 45 minutes once a month. That's it. That's all you'll be talking about money. You will not be talking about money on, making decisions every day about money, because you'll be doing it in a systematized way. So we're really excited about it. We give all the details. We want to just give you a quick overview of the Money Huddle so you kind of have the big picture idea. We give all of the details inside of our book, The 5 Money Personalities, and inside of our kit. But we're so excited because we don't argue about money. We used to, but we don't argue about money anymore. And it's because, again, we have a system and a way to do it. So Let's talk. We came up with this idea, the Money Huddle, because you're huddling, you're together, and it's a system. So we're excited. Let's talk about it just a little bit, what it's not, and then what it is. What it is not.
What it is not is it's not a time to balance your checkbook.
No.
It's not a time to review the credit cards in depth.
No.
It's should have had all that done before you started the Money Huddle.
Yes.
So it's not a time to sit down and do some in-depth research. The money person already knows those numbers, and they probably have those numbers pulled, but that's not the time to do it. Do it before.
No, the Money Huddle is all about your relationship and money. And so let's talk about it. Now, one of my favorite sayings out of that, and we're just going to keep going. There we go. What were we saying?
We were saying that what it is not. So it's not a time to balance your checkbook. It's not a time to dive in on your credit card statements. It's not a time to gripe at your spouse. It's not a time complain about, what's going good or what's going bad.
But let's talk about the system real fast. But one of my favorite sayings is begin with the end in mind. I love the 7 habits of highly effective people. And it's so cool because beginning with the end in mind is having a vision of where you want your relationship to go, and having that end goal of not arguing about money is super duper important. So if you have that end goal of not arguing about money, how are you going to get there? So we came up with the Money Huddle, and there's 3 components to it, and it's begin with the end, E-N-D, in mind. So we've got an E, an N, and a D. And again, this is big picture. This is not all the details, but just to give you an idea how exciting it is to not talk about money all the time and to have a system. So what's E, honey?
E is evaluate. So,
That's right.
So we told you what it's not. Now let us tell you what it is, because we're getting totally out of order. So what it is E is for evaluate. And that's the person that's bringing the stuff. You want to evaluate how your budget or your spending plan is going. You want to evaluate where your credit cards, and that should be the first 15 minutes. We tell people, hold this meeting to 45 minutes. So the first 15 minutes is just evaluating where you are as a couple with your finances.
Okay, and there's 2 components to that. Your spending and your saving. So as the money person, Scott will come in and say, okay, here's where we are in our savings and here's where we are in our spending. It's not a whole lot more than that. If we have any debt, which we're glad now we don't, but there's times when there has been. So you go over any debt that you have, any expense. Those 2 things are just the most important thing for the non-money person in the relationship to know about.
Right.
So
E is evaluate,
minutes.
15 minutes. Your next 15 minutes is end, which is needs. It's important that you're talking about what you need. Back to school is like a crazy expensive time for us because we're getting all of our school stuff pulled back together, but we're also jumping in football, which means new cleats, new girdles, all the stuff that comes along with football.
Are you saying girdle?
Well, if you play football, you know what a girdle is. It's not like your grandma's girdle, trust me. It would not help shape your grandma at all. No. But so needs, you gotta go over your needs because once a month those needs change. So evaluate, needs, and your last one is D.
I love this
Dreams. One of the things that we get away from as couples, especially when we're married and we're in the grind, it goes more to survival mode, definitely not dream mode. But that's what makes relationships great. That's what's going to help you stay focused on your spending, your budget, because your dreams are, hey, we want to live in this place when we retire. Well, by evaluating where your savings and where your credit debt is, and by talking about your needs, it also lets you focus on those dreams. Why are we working so hard to make all these things happen? It's because it's part of your dreams. So the first 15 minutes is evaluate, the next 15 minutes is needs, and the next 15 minutes is dreams.
And dreams are so fun to talk about. Let me just say one, like Scott and I really want to open a money personality component and teaching session inside of the Dream Centers in California. That's a dream we have, and we want to be able to fund it. So in order to have that dream, we have to be able to talk about it and be excited about it once a month because it keeps it in the forefront of our mind.
And save for it.
And save for it, exactly. So evaluate needs and dreams, a wonderful way to be able to get on the same page about money. Again, once a month, 15 minutes each. That's it. Don't take longer. I mean,
total
literally
45 minutes, not even an hour.
No, not even an hour. Really important to keep the time down so you don't have time to get off in different trails and things like that. So we're really excited to be able to do this system. Again, we explain it and go into a great deal of depth. In our book, The 5 Money Personalities, and inside of our kit, the Love and Money Lifestyle Series. You all just have a wonderful day. We are super excited to bring to you some new products too, and so stay tuned. And we're just going to stop with this. As always, make it happen.